How's it going, everybody? It's great to see you. It's really been too long. Today I'm doing something a little bit different, and I'm going to bring you in the kitchen with me. Why? Well, it's easier if I show you rather than tell you. But first things first, let's get into it, and I'm going to show you the ingredients. As you can see, here's our spread, and the first thing we're going to want to do is get our bread and toast it. I'm going to use my hand to toast mine, but you might want to do something else. After we've toasted our bread, we're going to go ahead and get ready to do the next step, which is going to be to add the milk to the bowl. You can use whatever milk you want, almond milk, dairy milk, it really doesn't matter. Just get some milk, then you're gonna add some cinnamon. After you add the cinnamon, do a little bit of brown sugar. You don't have to be stingy like me. I went back and actually added some more. Follow this up with some vanilla extract. After you add the vanilla extract, you're gonna wanna add some egg yolks to a bowl. I have a fancy little separator, but if you don't have a separator, improvise. You can use a strainer. You can take the yolk out with a spoon after you've cracked the egg yolk and the white into a bowl. Now you're going to add your first yolk into the mixture, and you're gonna follow this up with your second yolk. Then you're gonna follow up with a little bit of sugar, or a lot. It depends on who you are and how sweet you want it. But me, I'm a little stingy with it. Once you've added the sugar, it's time to whisk this all together. I have a little fancy whisk here, but you can use whatever whisk you have on hand. But don't use a fork, you're not supposed to mix with a fork. After it's been mixed and it's got a nice froth thickness to it, you know that it's done and you're ready to move on to the next step. View Exhibit A. Look at the frothiness. Now, after it's set for a bit, it's time to add our first piece of bread. As you can see, the toasted bread absorbs the mixture without getting too soggy. After you let it drip off for a bit, it's time to go forward with the next piece of bread. Be quick, don't let it sit too long, and let the excess run off. I will now jump forward in time a few seconds. Alrighty, now that we have jumped forward a few seconds, just look at these awesome pieces of French toast, soaked and glistening in the cinnamon and the cream and the egg, and it just looks delicious. But I digress. It's time to cook these bad boys. So what you're gonna wanna do is get a nice piece of butter, put it on the skillet, and make sure your skillet's hot. After that, you're gonna wanna move it around a little bit. You're probably wondering why I'm letting it sit. That's because I'm adding a little bit of oil to mine. And the reason behind this is because it raises the smoke point of the butter so it doesn't burn as quickly. Now we're gonna add our first piece, and once we make sure that pot is ready, we're gonna add our second piece, followed by our third piece, followed by our fourth piece. Oop, got a little hot there. And clearly it was not hot enough because I went right back to readjusting my pieces. But this is important. Make sure you got a nice position in the pan. And as far as flipping it, you want to take your time. Don't go too fast, don't go too slow. A little trick you can use is to peek around on the corners. Anyway, after they look a little bit golden brown, it's about time to flip. And once you do the peeping method and feel everything's ready, go ahead and get ready to get those bad boys on the other side. You can use your hand or whatever you want. You can flip it with the spatula and your hand. But also please note that they may not all get ready at the same time. That's evident with these bottom two, so I flipped them back. Don't be scared to flip them back if they don't look ready. In the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and set a timer on the air fryer for our bacon. Get that nice and crispy while we continue to cook the French toast. Making sure I'm nice and exact. Your air fryer may vary for how you want to cook your bacon, but for me, this is how I do it. And look at that refulgent sweetness. But I digress. Time to check back in on the bacon, and as you can see, it is nice and brown and crispy. It's ready to be plated alongside the French toast. So what I'm gonna do is sit it in a place where it'll be warm, but it won't burn. Now you're gonna want to take one egg and open it however you do it. I flick mine, as you see there. Came right open. Do not try this at home, guys. It takes discipline. After you let it sit for a while, just let it absorb that heat. It's no rush. Let it get that nice texture. I'm gonna do mine in a way called over hard. It's up to your preference. Let me know how you guys like to cook your eggs in the comments. Whether or not you scramble them is completely up to you. I was feeling like going for an over hard today. And I do slap the yolk a few times, and you're probably wondering why I did that. I was wondering if I wanted to break the yolk. I was thinking about it, but I decided to keep it intact. You can do over hard both ways, really. but I just decided I was going to do it like this for the sake of the video. Make sure you peek under it like that to make sure it's not overcooked. And when you flip it, if it makes a splat like this, don't panic. Just just trim it up a little bit, give it a little taper fade. As you can see right here, it cleaned up pretty nice. And now we're just gonna let it sit and brown. And after I feel like it's browned enough, it's time to give this bad boy a good old gentle flip after patting it 2 times, just to test the yolk. That's why I hit the yolk, just to see how runny it was and how firm it was. Because sometimes when you cook it like this, you bite into it and the yolk runs. Some people like that. I'm not too big of a fan. That's why I even pulled out the probe. You're gonna want the internal temp to be like 165 for this kind of stuff, this kind of food. And that's where this probe comes in handy. And then it's time to take it out the skillet and plate this bad boy as well. Alright guys, so the cooking process is complete now, and I just want to say I appreciate you guys coming along with me on this journey. It was a lot of fun putting this together, taking you guys along the journey just so you can get a glimpse into a meal I may prepare for myself on a daily basis. So, with that being said guys, be blessed, never stressed, and remember the main thing: don't panic. See you in the next video.